Hi, it's Emily Ross, LPC. Don't forget to hit subscribe and notifications so you get all this free mental health content. You're going to want to be around for the holidays. So it's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and people are getting all nerved up. I know that because my private practice is just full and busy, and people are stressed out, and that's okay. That's okay. I wanted to talk about coping during the holiday season, right? The holiday version. Some of the things that I want you to remember before we talk about specific coping skills you can use in the moment while you're with family or friends or doing your thing and feeling stressed out. Before we talk about that, I want to remind you that you have more power in this than you think, right? There's two fundamental things I want you to think about. One is that your body does not care that it's Thanksgiving, right? It still needs the same building blocks and the same tools in your gut to make serotonin in your brain so that you feel happy. If you're fueling it with just sugar and unhealthy fats and all kinds of nonsense, then your brain isn't going to make the serotonin and you're not going to feel happy. So that doesn't change just because it's Thanksgiving in America. It's not going to change for Christmas either, right? What you eat matters. So just because there's a quadrillion unhealthy options doesn't mean you have to indulge in all of them. You can still make healthy choices during the holiday, and you can still eat to fuel your body's needs so that it can make serotonin and you can feel happy. So empower yourself to do that, right? I'm not saying don't have any of the tasty treats, have some, but do everything in moderation, and remember that that's one way that you're taking care of yourself and you're showing yourself self-love. So that's one thing that I want you not to forget. The second thing is that setting and maintaining appropriate boundaries will save you from a plethora of bad situations. You get to have boundaries with family, with friends, with relatives, with everything. You are allowed to tell people and show people where your boundaries are and to stick to them, even if it's the holidays. So if you haven't had boundaries before, it can be difficult to establish them, but there are loving ways to just tell people around you that you've had enough, right? Without arguing, without fighting, just, hey, this is where my limit is. I think that we should do a whole session, a whole segment on boundaries because it's that important. Maybe I'll do that later in the week. But if you don't set boundaries, then people aren't going to know where your limits are. So practicing, I'm sorry, I can't really do that. No, I can't cook for 50 people. Practice saying no and allowing people to know where your boundaries are so they can show up. People who love you want to honor where your boundaries are. And so you've got to give them an opportunity to do that. They can't guess. We don't guess well about what other people's needs are. So those are two things I want you to really empower yourself to manage well going into the holidays. Now, we can do everything right, and sometimes things still go wrong, right? Sometimes things still get hard. Sometimes people don't show up the way we want, and sometimes things get tense, especially in the holidays. So there's some things that you can do to cope in the moments, right? Remember what Amanda taught us about behind your ears. You can press on that bone. You can do that while you're sitting at the dinner table, right? You can do it inconspicuous, and that activates your vagus nerve and helps your central nervous system settle down. That's something you can do right at the dining room table. Also, remembering your breathing. Take a deep breath. If you realize that you're starting to get nerved up or anxious, just deep, slow breaths. Nobody has to know you're doing anything. Nobody will notice, and you can just do that right in the moment. Other things to do are to get out in the sun. It's freezing in Southeast Texas. You can tell because I'm all bundled up with my fur, but going for a walk after dinner. Invite the kids to go with you. Like, hey, let's go for a walk. That'll help your food digest, which will help your mood, and getting out in the sunshine boosts that vitamin D and gets those happy chemicals going again. So that's another thing that you can do. What else, Maddie? What else would you do? You don't get stressed.
Nope.
You don't. It's because your family's so wonderful, huh? Laughing is a big one too. When you laugh, endorphins are released in your brain, and it kind of resets everything for you. So trying to find ways to laugh in the moments, that's a good one too. So let's hear your favorite ways to cope during the holidays in the comments, and let me know what else you want to talk about. If there's something specific about your holidays that you're getting nervous about, let us know, and we'll quick get you out a video to try to help. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to pop over to the Facebook page. There's really great conversations happening over there. People are supporting each other, telling each other what's hard for the holidays, and showing up and supporting each other and encouraging each other. It's really a great place to be. So check out the Facebook page. Everything's Emily Ross LPC. You can find me everywhere. So go ahead and pop over and join the conversation. This is how we're going to change mental health, by making it so normal to talk about it that it's not stigmatized anymore. So about mindfulness and meditation. If you watch the videos with Master Bhante Rafa, you have learned some meditation techniques. It's really just about quieting your mind. So maybe excuse yourself, go outside for a few minutes and just deep breaths and focus on your breath and try to meditate or practice some mindfulness. The other thing is to connect with people, right? Not necessarily your family or the people who are causing you the discomfort, but connect with people who are also struggling. My Facebook page is a great place to do that. People are open and honest and vulnerable on that page, but make sure you're connecting to others who share your same struggles, so that you remember that you're not all alone in this, that lots of people struggle during the holidays. It's particularly difficult when you've lost somebody and trying to readjust what the holidays look like, especially when a matriarch or a strong male has passed away, who was the foundation of how we celebrated traditions. It can be difficult to want to celebrate at all when we don't have those kind of grounding people to pull it together. And it's okay to struggle with that, and it's okay to skip a year, and it's okay to reach out for help and support and find out how other people navigate that. You're never alone. You're not alone. So pop on over to the Facebook page and let us know how you're doing. So have a great day. Don't forget to hit subscribe and vote for Matthew to dance to end the meetings, or what do we call these? The videos. Come dance, Matty. Come on.